Salam. That's hello in Kazakh for anybody who's thinking about moving to Kazakhstan. Maybe that's why you clicked on this video, because today I'm going to talk about some applications that have been very, very helpful living in Kazakhstan as a foreigner, and also locals use these apps too. So let's just get straight into it. The first app I want to talk about is Tugis or Double Gis. I'm actually not sure how to say it, and people say different things. Basically, this is the app's logo. So Tugis, Double Gis. What matters is the content. So basically, Tugis or Double Gis is like Google Maps, but better for Kazakhstan. So if you use Google Maps, it might work in other countries, and it works to an extent here, but Double Gis is much more updated. Like, all of the restaurants are there, people write reviews for restaurants or different locations. Restaurants also put their menus up sometime or link their phone number and Instagram to that. So it's a way to see all of the restaurants and establishments that are open. They have open and close times as well. Additionally, it can tell you the route to walk, by bus, or driving to get there. To be honest, I didn't use it for the first year, and then finally, my coworker was like, you really need to get Double Gis. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, why didn't I get it before? And what's great is that the user interface can be in English, so that's helpful. I mean, sometimes the restaurants will show up in Russian. Usually you can look at everything in English, so if you are new to Kazakhstan and you don't know Russian or Kazakh yet, and you maybe can't read the alphabet, it would be easy for you to use this app. The second app I want to recommend, I started using from like the very first few days I was here, is Yandex Go. Yandex Go is like Uber for those who are in North America. So it's a taxi or driver application. The user interface is also all in English if you choose it to be so. And you can order cars, you can order multiple cars, you can decide the luxury that you want, just like with any other taxi app. Additionally, you can link your card or pay cash. So you make that option. I always pay in card because sometimes the taxi drivers don't have change and they want you to go into a store to get change. So I always pay with cash. And one thing that I love about this app is that you can choose to turn off calls. So there's an option where it says like, oh, please don't call me. Because sometimes taxi drivers will call you to tell you like, hey, I'm here, or where are you? But if you turn that option on where you don't want to be called, they'll be notified and they won't call you. And the service is also pretty good. Let's say something weird happened with your ride, or there was an incorrect payment or something, you can contact Yandex and they usually help you get that money back or whatever you need, which is super nice and great. So I use Yandex Go all the time. Definitely 10 out of 10 recommend. The third app is also a must-have in Kazakhstan, and that's WhatsApp. So people around the world may already know what WhatsApp is, but if you don't, it's a messaging app. Just like you would text message somebody, well, there's an app for it, and it relies on the internet to send messages. So in other countries, you might see WeChat or Line, Kakao Talk, those type of things. Here, WhatsApp currently is the biggest messaging app, and everybody uses it, including businesses. So you need to download WhatsApp in order to basically text anybody. Of course, you can call people regular on the phone, but nobody here uses actual text messaging. They always use WhatsApp. This fourth recommendation is for people who are in Astana or Nur Sultan, and it's Astra Bus. And this is the bus app for the city of Astana. The city of Almaty has an app called City Bus Almaty, but I can't give any review of it because I've never used it before. You can look it up though, but I'm going to be talking about Astra Bus. So Astra Bus shows you all possible buses, their routes, and where buses currently are, which is such a lifesaver. So you can choose any route and see in lifetime where the buses are. You can also choose a bus stop, and the bus stop will show all of the buses that are coming and the approximate arrival times. My next recommendation is not something that is exclusive to Kazakhstan, but I recommend that you download the banking app for your bank. So whether that be a bank that's in Kazakhstan or a bank that's abroad, you should download a banking app, because whenever you're living abroad, you may need to transfer money from the tenge here to USD or the euro or anything, and you can do that on an app. Additionally, you can transfer money easily this way, but I definitely recommend that you get a banking app whenever you come to live abroad, so that you can check your finances. Sometimes when you're living abroad, you can lose track of money, or because of the currency, you get confused, and it's good to have your banking app on your phone with you, just in case you need to check things or transfer money.
And I thought this video was going very well until I was editing and realized I left out a really important app, which is Google Translate. Now, many people use Google Translate on their web browser on their phone, but I really recommend downloading the app because you can take a photo of something and watch it translate it for you in real time. So if you can't write something or you want to see it, what it means very quickly, like at a store, you can just take a photo or scan it and see the translation, which is very helpful.
Now, the last set of apps I'll recommend is not a particular one, but 3. So that is Glovo, Wolt, and Yandex Eats, and those are all food delivery apps. Now, I've chosen those 3 because the user interface is in English. Now, there's also other apps like Chocofood or some other ones that have Russian interfaces, so I'm not recommending them in this video. However, you are free to try them out. But Glovo, Yandex Eats, and Wolt all have an English user face, even though the food will all be written in Russian. You can look at photos, so a lot of restaurants will have the photos, which will help you choose. Now, if you come here already knowing Russian, already knowing Kazakh, then basically, why are you watching this video? Because all of the things I'm recommending, you'll be able to use with ease. You might already even know about them before this video. One of the issues is that usually the delivery people will call you, and they will not call you in English. And their English may be at level 0, or they may be able to say some things. So it's a mixed bag there. And I'm not saying that's bad. If you come to a foreign country, you should definitely, try to learn one of the languages. If you come to Kazakhstan, I encourage you to learn Russian or Kazakh. But just as a foreigner, especially if you come here first, just beware that in the food ordering system, they probably will call you and they will not be calling you in English. Now, I also have some notable mentions, ones that I wouldn't recommend that you must have, but I would recommend them just a little bit lower than the other ones I've previously said. The first one is Instagram. Now, you might already have Instagram, and I don't know how it is in your country, but Instagram is such an icon here, and it's used for business. Like I said, on Tugis, they have their Instagram accounts linked for restaurants and other businesses. So you can look at restaurants' menus, their location, their working hours, and sometimes the food pictures or even the setting, what their establishment looks like on Instagram. And additionally, there are a lot of Instagram-only businesses. And I don't mean they're on the shop page of Instagram. They literally are a business run through an Instagram account. And once you've been in Kazakhstan long enough, you'll see them advertised. And at least from my Instagram experience, they're usually food, sweets, or some type of beauty products. I'm not saying you have to download Instagram. If you're one of those people who doesn't like social media, you don't have to. But if you have Instagram already, you'll notice that it's also an e-commerce location. And don't be afraid to contact those businesses through Instagram. I've actually contacted restaurants through Instagram, and they usually respond. So Instagram is also a place to find services and goods. Moving on to transportation, InDriver is another app that I would recommend after Yandex. And the reason I don't yet recommend it higher is because people call you and you have to set up everything not in English. However, if you would like to travel intercity and you can have somebody help you set that up through InDriver, or you just like to practice your Russian or Kazakh through that, or basically use WhatsApp to talk to people, you can do it. So I would recommend it for intercity travel between 2 cities, because basically you have to advertise where you're going and how much you're going to pay for each person. And then someone will call you, or you look up advertisements and you call them. So I would suggest it for that intercity travel because you can kind of bargain or negotiate. But if it's inner city, inside the city, then you can just use Yandex Taxi or Uber to do that with a set price. Now, of course, there are many more apps that are unique to Kazakhstan or that you could use in Kazakhstan, but I just wanted to mention a few here that you could really use as a foreigner coming to Kazakhstan, or even as a local living in Kazakhstan using English, I guess. If you know of any other apps that would be useful for foreigners or useful for you that have an easy user interface, feel free to put those in the comments below. But hopefully this video has helped you see some apps that will really help you as a foreigner coming to Kazakhstan or a foreigner living in Kazakhstan. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.